evening and welcome to Nationwide on the network service of the Nigerian Television Authority. I am Ronke Kolawole. The Federal Executive Council has ratified in anticipation of presidential approval of procurement of 750,000 units of clean cook stoves and 18,000 wonder bags for the National Clean Cooking Scheme. The initiative is to engender clean cooking culture among rural women and reduce solid fossil usage detrimental to health. State House correspondent Hamza Musamakerefi tells us more on the Council's resolutions. While waiting for that story to be ready, the two-day meeting of members of the Lake Chad Basin Commission has ended in Abuja with a new sense of support by the United Nations and the African Union towards ending terrorism in the sub-region. Aliyu Kabir has that report.
To tackle the menace of insurgency, particularly in the northeastern part of Nigeria, and the desire to bring lasting peace to the area were the major thrust of the fourth meeting of the Commission. The ministers of defense of member countries, chiefs of defense staff, heads of intelligence and security were in attendance, and the Commission had a signatory of Nigeria, Niger, Chad, Cameroon, Central Africa and Libya as member countries.
I therefore employ the headquarters of the Lake Chad Basin Commission and the country selected to liaise with the UN and the AU to sustain the tempo of our drive so that the best will be gotten from these noble organizations.
Now the new focus is to get them together to work as a team, which means the forces of Cameroon, Chad and Nigeria can work in Nigeria. And we needed the legal backing so that these forces can work together, even though they are different countries, but they can work together as one and go into any other country among the member states to flush out all this insurgency and terrorist groups.
The meeting, according to stakeholders, is a platform to fine-tune their collective effort to ensure that terrorism will not prevail in the region and equally to safeguard the sovereignty of the member nations. In Abuja, Aliyu Kabir, NTA News.
Ekiti State Council of Traditional Rulers has sued for peace between the state governor, Mr. Ayodele Fayoshi, and the APC lawmakers over the lingering crisis between the executive and the legislature. Kunle Adeyeye reports that at the meeting, the governor and the traditional rulers agreed on the need for peace to fast-track development in the state. Kunle's report. Well, we're still getting that story ready for you. The National Union of Hotels and Personal Services Workers has appealed to the federal government to address the problem of insecurity affecting tourism and hotel businesses, especially in the northeastern part of the country. The union made the plea at its 5th Quadranian National Delegate Conference held in Abuja. Correspondent Emmanuel Ayimiro reports.
Apart from the issue of insecurity leading to low patronage of hotels and tourism, the conference wants an end to the issues of casualization, contract work or outsourcing, and other forms of abuses prevalent in hotels across the country. The conference observed that these issues are undermining the huge economic benefits, which when effectively tackled, could bring about increase in revenue generation and job creation.
Of best cannot be guaranteed in the community or even the town. That situation is counterproductive to tell business as well.
If decent job agenda is stepped up in the industry and by extension in the private sector, I am telling you that that will bring a turnaround. The best way out, like I've said, is for the Nigerian labor movement itself to come up with a framework and then push this framework in collaboration with the National Assembly.
The National Union of Hotels and Personal Services Workers are wondering why some hotel owners are still preventing their workers from belonging to union, which seeks to work for the common good of workers and their employers. In Abuja, Emmanuel Ayemiru, NTA News.
Lagos is our first port of call on Nationwide as we now link up with Abdullahi in our Lagos studio for stories making the rounds in that area, among which is a symposium on the role of natural medicine in healthcare delivery.
It's good to see you, and thanks for joining us here in Lagos. The Chairman Delegate Congress Committee for Lagos State, Alhaji Adamu Waziri, says a new World Congress ordered by the National Executive Committee of the People's Democratic Party, PDP, has been successfully conducted in Lagos. Alhaji Waziri, at the elections were conducted 145 words, producing 3 delegates per word, giving Lagos a total of 735.
35 persons and mutual agreement about the 3 delegates per ward. In some other instances, the party members and women choose the 3 delegates.
Is achieving this feat within 48 hours is a pointer to the inbuilt capabilities of PDP to resolve internal conflicts and take corrective measures whenever the guidelines of the party are breached. He thanked the leadership of the party in Lagos State for cooperating with his committee to successfully carry out its assignments. The United Nations Information Center in Lagos, in collaboration with Lagos State Government and network of non-governmental organizations gathered in Lagos to create awareness on the ills of gender-based violence and the need to speak against it. Musa Toliat reports that the event with the theme Orange, Your Neighborhood, marked the commencement of a 16-day activism around the elimination of violence against women.
The sensitization drive took participants to Falamo Bridge and the roundabout before returning to the United Nations Information Center in Ikoyi.
The punishment is never enough, and the issue is what we're trying to do is deter people from actually committing that act.
We should put stop to gender-based violence. We should put an end to violence against women.
This program is also important to the city of Lagos and to all women in general. This program will help the women and the girls to stand for their rights.
Deputy Governor of Lagos State, Adejoke Orilokuyade Fulire, urged women to stop the culture of silence and speak up when they notice traces of violence in their vicinity.
Any woman with domestic violence will not attain her full potential and will not be able to discharge their responsibility in an effective manner.
And when we are sensitizing women, we let them know that when you get to a police station, don't just walk up to the front desk. Ask for the human rights desk.
We cannot give up. This is the time we have to be all united in seeing that this thing goes forward.
Everybody has in stopping violence against women.
According to the United Nations, 35% of women and girls experience some form of physical or sexual violence in their lifetime.
Say no to violence against women.
In Lagos, Musa Toliat, NTA News.
From gender-based violence now to defense. The Chief of Naval Staff, Vice Admiral Usman Jibrin, says the Navy is fulfilling its constitutional mandate by ensuring that lives are protected from criminal elements. The Chief of Naval Staff stated these at the annual lecture of the Institute of Shipping in Lagos. The report.
Represented by the Flag Officer, Western Naval Command, Rear Admiral, the Chief of Naval Staff commended the efforts of the Institute in building for the maritime within the Navy. He noted that over of world trade is transported by the sea, stressing that there's every need for world trade to man the sector.
In fulfillment of the mandate as enshrined in the Nigerian Constitution, has been providing maritime security, that which is the sea. In particular, the Nigerian Navy has ensured that the sea lanes of communication are protected from criminal elements so that activities will continue to thrive.
Speaking on the topic, the development of transport infrastructure in Nigeria, Dr. Alex Okwaishi identified heavy traffic burden on the roads as the major cause of the deterioration of roads infrastructure.
So industries and facilities and infrastructure should be sited, differently in different locations. We should take advantage of Nigerian opportunities, coastlines, to establish ports, for example, so that people will have ports and other infrastructure in different places.
As part of activities to mark the day, a 365 ICT JAM computer-based test center was commissioned.
Health matters now. The development of natural medicine has been identified as key factor that has the potential of assisting in the production of healthy indigenous food and create jobs in the country. This is the thrust of an international symposium on herbs, healthy foods and natural products. The event was jointly organized by agencies involved in the production of food and natural products in Lagos. Ken Egbelugwe has details.
HerbFest 2014 with the theme Herbs, Health Food and Natural Products, Shifting the Boundaries of Healthcare, seek to showcase the rich biodiversity and investment opportunities in Nigeria and the West African sub-region.
To create jobs, our ability to create wealth, our ability to bring people together using traditional medicine or traditional products, we're able to create jobs and wealth and add value to the Nigerian population.
We are tapping into these resources now to make them more useful for curing chronic diseases and even diseases that are becoming strange to the environment.
Minister of Science and Technology represented challenged practitioners to take advantage of more than 45,000 plant species, of which 5,000 species are used for medicine on the African continent. The minister noted that Nigeria possesses more than 40% of these medicinal plants, adding that there is need to develop products that will substantially contribute to the healthcare delivery.
The Federal Minister of Science and Tech will keep supporting these agencies, including natural medicine.
So the whole idea here is to link the laboratories with the marketplace and with the patient needs so that there will be a holistic approach to developing natural product as medicine.
The workshop attracted participants in the food, drugs and natural medicine in Lagos. Ken Igbeluge, NTA News.
And Ken's reports ends nationwide from Lagos. Don't go away, as Ronke has more report from Abuja. Ronke, I hope you're standing by there.
Thank you so much. And now back to the story from Ekiti State. The State Council of Traditional Rulers has sued for peace between the state governor, Mr. Ayodele Fayose, and the APC lawmakers over the lingering crisis between the executive and legislature. Kunle Adeyeye reports that at the meeting, the governor and the traditional rulers agreed on the need for peace to fast-track development in the state. The report.
The meeting was exclusive to only the governor and the traditional rulers. Addressing journalists after the meeting, Governor Fayose implored the 19 lawmakers outside the state to come and resume their legislative assignments with an assurance that their security is guaranteed. He said politics should be set aside by political gladiators while holding the interests of the state higher. Governor Fayose described his meeting with the traditional rulers as fruitful.
And I want to welcome them again to the state to tell them that they are my brothers. I am their leader. I'm ready to work with them.
In a communique after the traditional council meeting, its chairman and the only Taji of Itaji Ekiti, Oba Adamu Babalola, informed that the council, as neutral observer,
we told you earlier that NTA's coverage and broadcast of political events has been the center of discourse at various fora, with several groups commending the NTA for professionalism and maintaining core ethical standard in broadcasting. Nnamdi Odukpo is now ready with the story.
The platform was an NTA organized event. The agenda was its readiness for the 2015 elections, but even more significant were the observations made at the occasion. The Director General of the NTA, Shola Omole, was represented by the Executive Director Marketing, Nike Olufade, actually set the ball rolling with a self-assessment that showed commitment and readiness for the 2015 elections.
NTA is known for professionalism in coverage of elections. You know, we are not just going to begin that, but at the same time, we need to keep reminding ourselves, you know, of what it means to cover elections professionally.
And it would seem that NTA's age-long stance on professionalism has registered with a large segment of society.
I'm here more to encourage you, to tell you that we are extremely happy and proud of the work that you're doing when it comes to election coverage.
If you watch NTA Network or NTA International, you are at home with what is happening in this country, at least to a better level and balance.
You discover that when it comes to moderation,
NTA is at the top of the bill.
Readiness, commitment to set targets and adherence to the ethics of the profession appears to be NTA's mantra as far as political broadcasting goes, and the 2015 elections coverage will be a major test. In Abuja, Nnamdi Odikpo, NTA News.
Kudos to the NTA's management. Things are really looking up here. The United Nations General Assembly has approved June 13 as International Albinism Awareness Day. This is in recognition of the need to promote and protect human and people's rights. Founder, National Albinism Center, Jacob Pele, said in a statement in Abuja that the 69th session in Agenda 68 decided that with effect from June 2015, June 13 be observed as International Awareness Day of Albinism. Jacob Pele invites member states to provide the UN High Commissioner for Human Rights with information on initiatives to promote and protect human rights of persons living with albinism. A comprehensive implementation of the UNEP report on the restoration of the Ogoni land is to commence in the first quarter of 2015. Petroleum Minister Desani Alice disclosed this at the end of a two-day high-level multi-stakeholders meeting comprising UNEP, Federal Ministries of Petroleum Resources, Finance and Niger Delta Affairs, as well as the people of Ogoni land in Geneva, Switzerland. Energy correspondent Hawa Salihu Adama has that story.
It was here in Geneva that the issues of the Ogoni land pollution were brought and accorded special recognition in the 1990s. For members of the technical working groups comprising mainly Ogoni people themselves, despite the time lost since the 2011 UNEP report, which recommended the spending of about $1 billion for the cleanup of the oil-producing community, renewed efforts by government towards reviving the land indicate willingness to turn the Ogoni story around.
We are seeing this push now. I think that's why we're happy to be behind it, to put in our support, and to do all that we can from our end to ensure that the project succeeds.
With various presentations captured in 4 components and recommendations spread within an 18-month, 5-year and 20-year window, critical issues of emergency response to basic needs, empowerment of the youth, prevention of further pollution and creation of a central representative committee to aid community engagement, as well as an independent body for the management of funds, were the consensus.
There is no time like the present. We've lost a lot of time and we need to be very bullish at this point, and we're getting a lot of support from UNEP. It's very clear that the funding will be done through an independent body that we all agree on with the assistance of UNEP. And I think that is the most efficient manner.
I think we have now put everything on track, so that we will understand long-term decisions, which are to do the cleanup, but you will also see short-term benefits in livelihood and better opportunities in Ogoni land in the in 2015.
Identify the things that can be done very quickly, but I think the most important thing is an effective communication strategy that convinces the Ogoni people that government is serious.
Following what all parties involved in the Ogoni land restoration process describe as a big leap, another meeting to fine-tune timelines for implementation has been slated for mid-December in Abuja. In Geneva, Switzerland, I am Hawa Salihu Adama, NTA News.
Thank you, Hawa. Africa's ability to sustain its current growth, experts say, will depend largely on how quickly it can shift from reliance on traditional commodity markets to modern economic structures. Such structures, they point out, must focus on technology-driven development. This was the consensus at the Berlin African Economic Forum, as reported by Theresa Wabalba.
On finished products manufactured in the Western world by the third world countries is said to have had negative impact on the economies of such countries, including Nigeria. Though the biggest economy in the continent of Africa, and with Nigeria still transforming her traditional markets and adopting technology-driven method of production, experts at this forum say there is need for more to be done.
And to push innovation and make it a reality rather than just a dream is a question of education, local basic education, not private schools. The university system has to be in such a way that people do come out there competent to face the working world.
We need more help from governments to create an enabling environment for innovation. I think we need the right laws, the right policy prescriptions.
Nigeria has placed a lot of things in a very good perspective, like the policies on the tax-free holiday, the policies about pirating by Nigerians, because that is aimed particularly at the inventors.
In order to encourage innovation that will translate the traditional market into a technology-driven one, the Africa Innovation Foundation, which partnered the Berlin African Economic Forum, has instituted an award.
They win based on the innovation.
Yeah.
Innovation has to be addressing African challenges with potential to be commercialized.
The forum was rounded off with a call to German entrepreneurs to initiate partnership with their African counterparts. From Berlin, I am Teresa Wabalba, NTA News.
PDP screens governorship aspirants in the southeast. Benny has this detail in our Enugu Network Center with other stories.
Good afternoon and welcome to Enugu. The Southeast PDP zonal screening of governorship aspirants has ended in Enugu. James Oparikocha reports that over 50 candidates were cleared from 4 states in the zone.
About 58 aspirants were scheduled for screening, but only about 55 were screened, with Imo having the highest number of 27. Chairman of the screening committee, Shehu Mbalusa, commended the aspirants for exhibiting high sense of responsibility. 58. Abia has 11, 8, Enugu 7, and Enugu 27. So the aspirants said with the screening over, they will now go and work harder to get a party's ticket at the primaries. Dealing with issues of security, we need to put Imo State back to work. I am not desperate, but I have a deep-seated desire to serve Imo State. I believe that my chances are very bright, and like I said before, I have the experience. It's now the turn of the Eurozone, and we from the Eurozone think that equity demands that we should be allowed to produce the government.
I'm praying for a good primary because that is very central to our success as a party in Imo State.
They voted for me before. They vote for me again.
Well, I'll continue to talk to the people for Enugu State, especially the delegates, campaign amongst them, and convince them about my program.
Some aspirants failed to attend the screening, and the chairman of the committee said their fate will now be decided by the national headquarters of the party. Out of the 58 aspirants, 3 are women and all from Imo State. In Enugu, James Ofarikocha, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Nigerians have been urged to use their votes wisely through the ballot box to ensure that good governance is enthroned. Dr. Darlington Anyanwu, National Coordinator, Coalition for Good Governance, gave the advice at a public forum tagged Vote Must Count campaign held in Umuahia, the Abia State capital. Uche Njoku completes the story.
Anyanwu, the National Coordinator of National Coalition for Good Governance, stated the importance for Nigerians to register and use their votes judiciously. Dr. Anyanwu stated the aim of their campaign is to support virtues of good governance and credible leadership. He observed that through instrumentality of people-oriented research, there is a need for creating a pathway for accelerated development, building trust and confidence within the system. The service leader of the association, a woman leader, Mrs. Anne Enechukwu, and state coordinator by Sir Michael Ondo, commended President Goodluck Jonathan's performance and urged Nigerians, not minding their religion and tribe, to give him their mandate for him to complete his second term.
I will advise Nigerians to support Jonathan.
They further urged Nigerians to obtain their voter's card and use it judiciously. In Umuahia, Uche Njoku.
To keep the a disease permanently at bay, proper personal hygiene must be adhered to. Chairman of the Nigerian Medical Association, Enugu State Chapter, Dr. George Ugu, gave this advice in Enugu at a meeting of medical experts organized to rub minds on ways of combating communicable diseases. Ifeoma Ndokoli reports.
Declaring the event open, the Enugu State Governor, represented by the Commissioner for Health, Dr. George Eze, said the state government is ever ready to implement policies and programs that will help improve the health of the people. He used the occasion to call on the striking health workers to go back to work in the interest of the people. Chairman of the occasion, Professor Ifeoma Okoro, while speaking on the sub-theme, initial management of acutely illness, stressed the need for government to set up specialized emergency centers to ensure proper treatment of emergency cases. Chairman of NTA in Enugu State, Dr. George Ugu, described the event as unique and urged doctors to prioritize adequate service delivery at all times. Speaking on the theme, victory against Ebola in Nigeria, lessons learned and their applications, the guest lecturer, Professor Chika Onwasigo, urged Nigerians not to relent in implementing those rules that help to fight Ebola in the country. In Enugu, Ifeoma Ndokoli, NTA News.
Cybercrime has become a very serious issue, which experts say has eaten deep into the economy of the country. Worrisome is the extent at which some individuals manipulate the internet. Chidimma Ume, in this report, takes the menace of cybercrime and possible way out.
Is the fast growing area of crime that involves the computer and a network. Survey shows that this global issue has caused a lot of damage to the economy, especially in the financial sector, which has raised concern amongst the people.
Software manufacturers use a lot of means like hardware, spyware, phishing, not even virus, Trojan. There are so many of them that could be embedded into the software you are using. And you never know that you are not the only one using your computer.
Those crimes has reduced. They are not doing it in their private homes. And it is very, very impossible for the government, particular set of people, to say they are going to homes to go and arrest.
Hence, a 7-year jail term awaits any perpetrator caught in the act, which is a penalty recommended by the National Assembly. A leading practitioner, Clifford Okoro, however, said that considering the greater impact of cybercrime, there is also need for the government to train adequate personnel who can help monitor these sets of internet fraudsters. However, internet experts have advised that individuals should be careful with the way they open messages from their inbox for security purposes. Having learned the penalties facing any perpetrator, it is now reason for any cyber operator to be mindful of what he or she does. In Onitsha, Chidimma Ume, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Enugu. We now go back to Ronke in Abuja for more reports on Nationwide. Good afternoon.
Thank you, Benny. The Nigeria Police Force is strategizing towards boosting the federal government internally generated revenue through its special services. This is at a 3-day stakeholders conference holding in Abuja. Correspondent Joseph Orok has details.
Is primarily responsible for the maintenance of law and order in the society. Charging these tasks, the police also provide special services to corporate organizations and individuals, which attracts charges. The conference, at the instance of the Ministry of Police Affairs, is to enable stakeholders brainstorm towards reviewing or creating revenue points to improve the police internally generated revenue to the government.
Nigeria depends on oil in everything they do, and all oil-producing country of the world, they are looking elsewhere. So we've been tasked to look inwardly and see how we can better perform in terms of revenue generation.
Our primary responsibility is to provide laws, and we look at our local operations and the laws that will enable them function. The conference provided opportunity for some stakeholders to contribute ideas towards establishing acceptable rates of charges for the Nigeria Police Services. After the 3 days technical session, the conference is expected to raise the generated revenue of the Nigerian government. Joseph Orok.
This is Nationwide. Time to pause for some messages. More reports when we come back.
Do you crave class? Do you have taste? And do you care about comfort? If you do, then for your next event, a stay away from home, a business trip, or a holiday, visit Jade's Hotel at 24 Undola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja. Check out our world-class services, exquisite suites, restaurant and bar, gymnasium, spa and grills, and our outdoor catering services and cuisines. At Jade's, it can only be better. For bookings and reservations, visit us today at 24 Undola Crescent, Wuse Zone 5, Abuja, or visit www.jadeshotels.com. Our email address is info@jadeshotels.com.
You can also call us on 09291-9321 or 0810-909-7956.
Jade's Hotels. Welcome to life.
Change. Those who make history must first ruffle some feathers.
Look at us.
Good luck, Abele Jonathan. Championing the change we can see.
Us. We are changing. Nigeria is changing.
On my watch, we have witnessed high national economic growth rates, steady improvements, and expansion of national infrastructure.
What God has joined, let no man separate. God loves Nigeria. Unite and continue with good luck. A message from protectors of Nigerian posterity.
The FRC and NTA and Von Annual Lessons in Christmas Carols is here again.
The program, which started over 10 years ago in Abuja as a local carol night, has grown into a national affair.
It's an exhibition of classical and Nigerian Christmas songs and carols,
Featuring spirit-lifting renditions and inspiring messages in celebration of the living Christ.
Celebrated groups like the Lars Ekweme Choral Group will be there.
Theme, Celebrating the Prince of Peace.
Venue, National Christian Center, Abuja.
Date, Sunday, 14th December 2014.
Time 3 p.m.
Message giver, Senior Pastor, Dunamis International Gospel Center, Dr. Paul Enenche.
For sponsorship details, call 0803-303-7678
0803-704-3300
or 0802-722-2869.
Coming live on Radio Nigeria, NTA and Voice of Nigeria, Sunday, December 14, 2014.
The FRCN NTA and Vaughan Annual Service of 9 Lessons and Christmas Carols.
Making Christmas memorable for you.
Thanks for being there. Biosafety in Africa and the need to have a biosafety law is engaging the attention of experts and legal practitioners in Abuja. This is at the Open Forum on Agriculture Biotechnology Nigeria Chapter Special Session with the Nigerian Bar Association Abuja Chapter. Correspondent Mohammed Abdelkadri has that report.
On agricultural biotechnology with the Nigerian Bar Association is to ensure the passage of the biosafety bill before the National Assembly and its subsequent signing into law by the President.
What that means is that very soon Nigeria will be open to full practice of biotechnology.
To ensure that the bill meets with international standards.
Global overview of biotechnology application and appreciation, highlight of the Nigerian Biosafety Bill and international frameworks, as well as genetically modified crops in the pipeline in Nigeria, engaged the attention of the participants at the forum.
We need to have that law in place so that agriculture can be taken as a business.
We should go beyond just the traditional way of doing these things.
Open Forum on Agricultural Biotechnology Nigeria Chapter is a platform that brings together scientists, farmers, and key stakeholders as well as the general public to address contemporary challenges facing the sector. In Abuja, Muhammad Abdelkadri, NTA News.
Relevant authorities in Nigeria are exploring ways to utilize proper family planning as an element for national development. This will be at the center of discourse at the 3rd Nigeria Family Planning Conference scheduled to hold in Abuja. Salihu Abdullahi has the report.
This is a conference to herald a conference. Here, the Chairman, Media and Public Relations Committee, Bola Kusamiju, put the issues on the table.
There are 45% of the entire population. Yeah. So, is looking at it from demographic dividend perspective. What can we do with the young person?
Okay, every family plan is failure rate. There are some failure rates that are higher than others, and I can tell you the most effective ones will start with implants, for example.
Other issues that will be addressed includes improving access to family planning information and services in Nigeria, reducing maternal mortality, as well as the negative perception about family planning. The conference will feature exhibition on the practical application of family planning. In Abuja, Salihu Abdullahi, NTA News.
The federal government is set to reduce diabetes, which experts say is on the increase in Nigeria. Supervising Minister of Health, Dr. Haliru Al-Hassan, said this at the commemoration of the 2014 World Diabetes Day. Health correspondent Rashidat Mustafa Lagunju reports.
Over 375 million people are living with diabetes worldwide, while about 1.5 million deaths last year was attributed to the condition. Nigeria is believed to have the highest prevalence in sub-Saharan Africa. These experts attributed to the lifestyle and risky behaviors. It is in the backdrop of this that this year's theme is tagged Healthy Living and Diabetes, to enlighten the citizenry on how to prevent diabetes.
The federal government is totally committed to promoting healthy living for diabetes prevention and control in Nigeria. We can all add our partners and stakeholders to add impetus to this effort. As we are aware, comprehensive national tobacco, which was endorsed by the National Executive in April this year, was successfully defended at the public hearing convened by the Senate and the House of Representatives. The passage of this bill into law and its assent by Mr. President would be a great stride towards curbing the scourge of tobacco use in Nigeria.
Most people with diabetes in Africa are unaware of their condition and therefore do not seek treatment and care.
Prevention, early detection, adequate care and management, experts say, are key in the fight against diabetes. Strengthening of primary healthcare facilities nationwide is also noted as another key area. In another development, 1,850 personal protective equipment have been donated to Nigeria by the Japan International Cooperation Agency to further strengthen the nation's preparedness in the fight against Ebola virus disease. Japanese ambassador to Nigeria, Richi Soji, and JICA representative in Nigeria presented the equipment to Supervising Minister of Health, Dr. Kaliru Al-Hassan, in his office. In Abuja, Rashidat Mustafa Olagunju, NTA News.
GOC2 Division commissions projects. For this and more, let's join Agatha in our Benin Network Center.
Thank you, Ronke. Good evening and thanks for joining us in Benin. The General Officer Commanding 2 Division Nigerian Army, Major General Emmanuel Abejinri, has commended the 4 Brigade Nigerian Army Benin for its drive to provide basic infrastructure for officers and men of the brigade. He was speaking while inaugurating 5 projects executed by the brigade. Udwakobong Achibong has the report.
Projects inaugurated include Young Soldiers Accommodation, Civilian Personnel Unit, 1021 Brigade Workshop Complex, renovated classroom blocks, and the Brigade Guest House. Major General Abejiring said the project will boost the morale of the troops.
Generally, I want to say thank you very much for what you have done. Extremely commendable.
The commander for Brigade, Brigadier General Okudili Azinta, who conducted the GOC round, said the desire to embark on the project was to improve on the state of infrastructure in the brigade.
There are sufficient blocks, but there are insufficient habitable blocks. The prefab method used for the construction makes the blocks very, very, very strong. All that is required is to properly roof it, plumb it, and we'll bring it back to life.
The event was attended by senior military officers, both serving and retired, including Major General Labaran, Commander, Nigerian Army Corps of Electrical and Mechanical Engineers. In Benin, Urakobong Achibong, NTA News.
An education program for voters and other stakeholders towards the 2015 general elections has held in Ekiti State. The event, which was at the instance of the National Orientation Agency, NOAA, was witnessed by stakeholders in the state. Kola Adebobui reports.
Recorded in previous elections in the country, which has been attracting concern of relevant stakeholders, was the major focus of the sensitization, which brought together representatives of security agencies, religious leaders, market women, political parties, and traditional rulers to discuss way out of the problem. The program was an opportunity to clear areas that could undermine the electoral process to achieve credible poll come 2015.
The functions and responsibilities of each and every stakeholder, so that right from the start, we will know the do's and don'ts of the electoral process.
It will give us room to advise ourselves.
The convener, National Orientation Agency, NOAA, believes the only way democratic governance can be sustained and developed in the country is to educate stakeholders on the best voting processes.
We are going to intensify our efforts on educating the people on the voting process, how to vote.
The sensitization tagged towards 2015 general election is expected to hold in all the 3 senatorial districts of the state. In Ado Ekiti, Kola Adebobwiji, NTA News.
In the meantime, the National Orientation Agency in the South-South Zone has trained its directors on ensuring effective communication in line with the provisions of the Freedom of Information Act and their responsibilities to other citizens and institutions in the country. The one-day workshop with the theme, Understanding the Provisions and Benefits of the Freedom of Information Act 2011, held in Asaba, Delta State. Helen Dunku reports.
NOA Michael Mary, represented by the Director Planning, Research and Statistics, Bernard Stewai, harped on the need for every Nigerian to have a first-hand knowledge of the Freedom of Information Act and its benefits.
From the survey that we have carried out, many Nigerians don't know anything about the provisions of the Freedom of Information Act. And if they do not know, how can they give life to that act?
Delta State Director Sir Isaac Ezechi and others said they are now better informed about the act and their roles.
There is need for them to know what is happening in government so that there will be no rumor mongering and ill-feeling.
Through the FOI Act, the citizens will get to know a lot of the things they have to do as regards monitoring of government expenditures, accountability, transparency, integrity in governance.
So far, the National Orientation Agency, synonymous with the Do the Right Thing campaign, says it has trained close to 3,000 officers in 146 local government areas in the country. In Asaba, Helen Dunku, NTA News.
And the Maternal Pulse Foundation, an initiative of the wife of the Ondo State Governor, Mrs. Olukemi Mimiku, has continued to impact positively on the lives of children, women and indigent citizens of the state through medical support, financial assistance and empowerment materials. Speaking with NTA News in Akure, Ondo State, Mrs. Mimiku said the gesture is in line with the mandate of her foundation to improve the living of the less privileged in the state. Doris Ulumoko completes the report.
Maternal Pulse Foundation was established in February 2011, tackling multifaceted societal ills with key focus on women and children. Several parents of multiple births and their babies have benefited from the foundation, as the wife of the governor, Mrs. Olukemi Mimiku, provided some of their basic needs. The foundation has also sponsored the screening of over 1,000 women for cancer and foots the bill for the treatment of those diagnosed with the disease. Anywhere there is a need to help individuals who come across the rise of. The wife of the governor has also donated wheelchairs to some physically challenged persons and gave empowerment materials and financial support to indigent citizens.
To pray for her, that God will continue to strengthen her.
Mrs. Mimiku, on a monthly basis, meets with women from the 18 local government areas of the state in a program tagged Bebiro. The women go home with cash and other gift items. In Akure, Doris Ulumoko, NTA News.
And that's it from here. Ronke, you're on for the rest of News Nationwide. Good evening.
Agatha in Benin, thank you. Towards a credible 2015 elections, politicians have been advised to be decent in their campaigns. Some political analysts who gave the advice today while featuring on NTA's current affairs program, Good Morning Nigeria, say checking campaign of calumny and the use of indecent language will go a long way to sustain the nation's democracy. Timothy Yusuf reports.
Political activities are gathering momentum ahead of 2015 general election. So also is the language and utterances of politicians and their loyalists at campaign rallies becoming more and more provocative, incisive and vulgar. A former chairman of Alliance for Democracy, Ambassador Yusuf Maman, called on politicians to exhibit civility in their language.
So under any circumstance, it is expected that a person should be mindful of what he says, because such messages might be misinterpreted in terms of their level of profundity.
Professor Ben Egede, who joined Good Morning Nigeria from the Benin Network Center, believes that use of vulgar language sends bad signals to the nation's hard-earned democracy.
But when you use intemperate language, it raises a lot of suspicion, especially on the part of the citizenry, they begin to wonder the kind of persons we are parading as our future leaders, especially those who will win the elections when the 2015 elections come.
A public affairs analyst, Danjuma Musa, in his contribution, called on Nigerians to desist from the use of derogatory statements on political office holders.
It's anybody who wouldn't tell you, explain to you how he's going to expand the economic base of Nigerians. Instead, he resorts to insults and all. Why should you trust the person? The person lacks ideas, he lacks visions. If he has ideas and visions, he would rather use that time convincing you that, look, this is what I intend to do with the economy. This is how I intend to take care of the unemployed. This is how I intend to generate employment. This is how I intend. There are a lot of things about governance.
The political Nigerians to go back to the good old days of politics without bitterness, as practiced by the nation's founding fathers. In Abuja, Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
The 10th edition of the Abuja National Carnival has commenced with a combination of tradition and modernity. Correspondent Onyinaya Kaloka reports that though the event is colorful but low-keyed,
with the team building an enduring creative nation, the 2014 Abuja Carnival was low-key, with just about 10 states participating. The street carnival, which kicked off from the Ahmedu Bello Way, portrayed creativity in costumes, floats and dance steps. Tourists and residents say though the event was colorful, it was poorly publicized.
Most residents of Abuja doesn't even know what is going on.
I didn't even know there was anything like carnival going on.
That no matter the situation we might find ourselves, any window of opportunity to bring the people together should not be ignored.
We are doing a low-key thing, and this is a reflection of the mood of the nation.
When we are conscious of what is going on around the country, we ourselves decided that we must moderate this particular carnival.
At the Eagle Square, where the street show terminated, Vice President Namadi Sambo, who presented President Jonathan's address, noted that the event, which has been sustained for 10 years, will go a long way in promoting unity. In Abuja, Onyinaya Kaloka, NTA News.
Talking sports, Director General National Sports Commission, Gbenga Elegbeleye, says Super Eagles AFCON maize is a big blow to the nation's soccer aspirations, as FIFA Secretary General admits that the organization's standing has been reduced globally due to image problems. Let's join Fisayo Ogunfuyi for details on Sports Update.
The Director General of the National Sports Commission, Gbenga Elegbeleye, says Nigeria's failure to qualify for the 2015 Africa Cup of Nations in Equatorial Guinea is a big blow to the nation's sporting aspirations. Elegbeleye said this while presenting the competition trophy for the 2015 FCT Swan Week to the body's executive committee in Abuja.
I feel very bad too that we cannot go and defend the trophy we won in South Africa. A sign that some things are wrong somewhere, so they started about to sit up and find a way to improve in our football development.
Nigerian midfielder Harmony Ikande has won the goal of the week in the Israeli Ligat Al. Ikande, a former under-20 international, unleashed a 30-yard strike in the second versus fourth match, which saw Hapoel Tel Aviv dispatch Hapoel Beersheva 3-2. Ironically, it was fellow Nigerian and Super Eagles goalkeeper Austin Ejide who was at the wrong end of Ikande's strike. FIFA Secretary General Jerome Valcke says it will take years to repair its organization's damaged image after allegations of corruption over the processes that led to the award of the hosting rights of the World Cups to be staged in Russia in 2018 and in Qatar in 2022, which have unceasingly distracted the association for months now and has led to the withdrawal of major sponsors of FIFA's main tournaments. Speaking in Belfast, Northern Ireland, Valcke said the immediate future is not so bright for FIFA's global standing, but insists that the World Football Governing Body is doing its best for the game. Injured Australian cricketer Philip Hughes has undergone brain surgery and is still in critical condition after suffering a sickening blow to the head during the Sheffield Shield match between New South Wales and South Australia. The hospital spokesman David Factor revealed to the press that Hughes arrived at the hospital on a life support machine. With Sports News Update, Fisayo Ogunfuyi, NTA News.
sports update wraps up Nationwide. We thank you for being there. Remember to join us for the international news at 7 and the network news at 9. I am Ronke Kolawole. Good evening.
Most prized heritage has become a better country courtesy of the transformation agenda of President Goodluck Ebele Jonathan. With massive investment in power supply, affordable and effective healthcare delivery, a refocused education system,